Shalom, Kohu, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahashadai, Shalom, to the apostle, the elder, the great millstone, peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. My name is Elijah Ball, coming to you from the end of campus Indianapolis. And to all those listening and learning to you, I say Shalom. Especially to you so-called black, Hispanics, and native Indians that make up the 12 tribes of Israel. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 1. This spiritual thought. If ye then be risen with Hamashiach, which is the anointed, seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sitteth on the right hand of the Most High. So Yahweh died, he died for the children of Israel. And of course, on this side, the elect are going to seek Yahweh by Hashem Shai, and they're going to seek the wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding of Yahweh by Hashem Shai. These things are going to lead us to salvation, going to lead us to thrones and scepters. We get that. The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, verse 21. It says, if your delight be then in thrones and scepters, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom. So, of course, in the last time, in these last days, Yahweh Shai is raising up, starting the 144,000, which is going to be the governing body of the children of Israel and the nation that's going to be ruling in the world to come. And for those kings, like it tells us in a few places, Deuteronomy 1 and Peter, the other, it says, a peculiar treasure, a holy priesthood, kingdom of priests, in which, roughly paraphrasing, in which the nation of Israel will be, starting with the 144,000, and a governing body. When you look at Isaiah chapter 2, it speaks of nations coming and learning the ways of Israel. Okay, so it says, so we must delight in wisdom. We also understand that knowledge and wisdom will be the stability of our time, Isaiah 33 and 6. And so it leads us into a kingdom. One second. Okay. So it says, O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that you may reign forevermore. And what happens is that the things that we're looking for are those spiritual bodies. We're looking for the laws. Jeremiah 31, also in Hebrews, talks about the laws being placed in our inward parts, so we will sin no more. But it tells us in Romans chapter 6, verse 23, it says, for the wages of sin is death. So if the Lord is downloading us, giving us spiritual bodies in which we will never sin again, then we will live everlasting, and we will reign on the earth forevermore. As it also speaks of in Daniel, for the saints, which are the Israelites, don't take the kingdom, right? With the rulership starting with Yahweh Shai, who will not leave this place when he return as a man. But the saints of the Lord shall take the kingdom, and they shall rule forever, even forever. And pray that myself, those that are the likewise mind, we're actually saying, starting with our head apostle and elders, a great millstone, bishop, elders, those who teach the likewise doctrine will be those men in which we're speaking of this very moment. It says that you may reign forevermore. It says, as for wisdom, she is, and who she came, how she came up. Well, we're going to go further. All right, so that's the point I wanted there. Let's read further. It says, set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. Why? Because the things of the earth, um, especially in this present time, are corrupt. All right, the fashion of this very world is passing away. Everything in which men have put their life force into is actually going to come to an end on this side. Uh, like I said, there is a way to see it right into a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. We get this in the book of John. Um, they read, let's see, it's the whole chapter. We'll just jump down to 15. It says, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, this current earth is all about the flesh. And when we read a little bit further in Colossians, you'll see it's going to touch on those things, right? The flesh, right? Um, like Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai mentioned in Jeremiah chapter 9, 22 and 24. It says, let not the rich man glory in his riches, the mighty man in his might, or in the wisdom, but let he that glory in this, that they understand and know of him, right? And of course, this is part of it, is um, because people are of the lust of the flesh in this world. The beauty of a woman, which the scriptures talk about, the beauty being vain, that it only is for a moment, but a woman that fears the Most High, that shall stand, right? And if you fear Yahweh Bashim outside, you're going to keep his ways. When we're going to read, we're going to show you um, what his ways do, okay? And it says, right, so you got the lust of the flesh, those that the glory in the military might, those that glory that they're the fastest racers. Uh, I scroll through social media and basketball, and there's many men glorify, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, just to name a few, saying like these are the greatest men, right? But the greatest man is Yahweh Shai, who created those men, right? People giving more um, praise to the creature rather than the creator. We actually had in our Bible study pulling out Kayah, pulling out the scriptures that was very, edifying and going into how people started to worship and give glory to idols, the sun, giving idols to the beauty of the stars, the rivers, the seas, the trees, and the flowers, and things of that nature. But yet, all these things were created by Yahweh Bashim God. And so, of course, going back into John, this is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and that's part of it too, right? Um, it says the pride of life, and one of the biggest things that was pushed as I was growing up here, the house, wife, 2 kids, picket fence, dog, working a job and um, going up going up the ranks, eventually accumulating enough money for retirement, having building up um, enough wealth or funds to pass down to your children, to and then to live until retirement age, get a boat, get a retirement, buy retirement property so you can go and your retirement is being invested and it continues to pay for your taxes and retirement up until the time you die. And then, but yet you leave all these things to your children. And yet there's something far more better than this life. Yahweh Bashim Yahweh and to the children of Israel is promising a life that's everlasting. There's a scripture, I'm going to go, there's a scripture where he talks about that he goes, he says, in his father's house are many mansions, and how that he goes and prepares a place for you. And this is the elect. the children of Israel, right? And eventually all Israel will be saved and in their kingdom. But he's going to prepare a place. And he said if it was not so, he wouldn't speak of it, right? And I always bring out, let the Most High word be true and every man a liar. It also tells us in the Psalms, which might be Psalms 12 and 7 or 7 and 12, I get those mixed up. But it says in the Psalms, that his word is pure, 7 times pure, as gold purified in the furnace, 7 times pure. So it's completely pure. And his word will not come back unto him void. So everything in which we speak, which are the words of Yahweh Bashim God, he is bound by his word. He is not a man that he should lie. Uh, and then it says there's one thing, one immutable thing that he cannot do is lie. And so these are things in which we must have faith in. That this world and all the things of it, the eye lust of the eye, the pride of life, is not of the Father, but it's of the world. And he says, and the world passes away, and the lust thereof. But this is what happens if you keep his word. So, but he that doeth the will of the Most High abideth forever. So if we continue to stay strong, keep the truth, do the work in sincerity, we will fare well in the end. Many men, dang, what he says, David, he says, I have been young and now I'm old, and let me get it. Let me put those words in, it'll come up. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37, verse 25. It says, I have been young and now I'm old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. So we strive to be in our daily task to be righteous in the sight of Yahweh God. Because when that time of famine and many tribulations that are upon the righteous, we pray that, like the scriptures say, the Lord will deliver them from them all and deliver us from them all. Verse 26, he is very ever merciful and lendeth, and his seed is blessed. Depart from evil and do good and dwell forevermore. And that's the whole point, right? For the Lord loveth judgment and forsaketh not his saints. For the saints, the Israel, children of Israel. You get that, I believe, also in Psalms. My go-to is Psalm 148, verse 13 to 14. It says, even the children of Israel. I believe it's also another one in Psalm 52. But the saints are the children of Israel. And maybe I'll do, I actually had it in my spirit to do a basic uh, breakdown as far as who are the saints. Um, Lord willing, and put in my spirit to do so. It says they are preserved forever, but the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. The righteous shall inherit the land and dwell therein forever. See, this is what we're looking forward to. These are the things that are above. What it tells us in the book of Hebrews, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom, and his tongue talketh of judgment. The law of his power is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide. This is a wonderful, wonderful scripture, right? So what he tells us to do, meditate in his word day and night. He also tells us when, that hour of temptation or when those times of tribulation, things that come, he says there'll be times in which he's going to give us the proper word to speak when that time, when these times come. And so what do? We just keep watch and do the work of the Lord to the best of our ability. And listening to his prophets and then in which he sent, getting started with we believe our head and postures and elders of great millstone. Going back to Colossians, this is Colossians 3, verses 4. It says, 3. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with God in power, right? So we are dead to this world, right? Our life, the things in which we had, that's going to shell, our spirit is on high, the guys you see were into music. They were into sports, like actually athletes who could have went further into sports, could have went further into like music and song, rap, um, further in their careers, businesses and things of that nature. But they put off all those things for the glory of Yahweh outside. I want to get this because this is Moses did the same thing. Moses um, for Hebrews. This is the book of nope, this isn't it. Give me one moment. Be called Pharaoh. It's the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 24. It says, by faith, Moses, because it's the faith that the Lord has given. Faith is a gift, and he's given these things into his men, starting with his elect men. It says, by faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. And this is just a season. Again, like we said before, these things are going away. And those who do the will of the Father, they're going to abide forever. And just like Moses, we know that this is but a light affliction, and it doesn't compare to the glory that we're going to soon receive. It's pleasures for a season. So that time in Egypt, those were pleasures for a season. And the Lord called him out of that darkness into marvelous light, just like he called many of us in this time. Esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt. And we're in modern day spiritual Egypt, America, and the treasures of this life. Just like Moses, we esteem the treasures of Yahweh by died and going into his way, his afflictions that come much greater riches and reward than what we ever could receive or obtain on this side. Because many rich men, many musicians, athletes, doctors became rich, scientists, um, discoverers, and many nations, many aspects that they have received have been in every aspect within this society, and at the very end they've gotten the short end of the stick, and there's many examples of it where they've gotten the riches taken, stolen, land possessed, you name it. Just, but with Yahweh Shai, it's just going to be forever. For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward, because there's a reward that comes for those that endure. For by faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. See, so Yahweh said, blessed is he who believes and have not seen me. Through faith, he kept the Passover and the sprinkling of blood, lest he that destroyed the firstborn should touch him. So again, it's just showing you through faith is why the men of the Lord, things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. And because we learn these things through faith, we know that we will fare well. This is Colossians verse 4, when Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. And one of my favorites, John said, we would be like him. Let me get that. That fingering. It's the book of John, chapter 1, or excuse me, First John, chapter 3, verse 2 and 3. It says, beloved, no, no, I mean, excuse me, now are we the sons of the Most High, Yes, Yasha Allah, Israel, Prince of the Power, um, sons of God, and it doeth not yet appear what we what we shall be. But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for he shall see him, excuse me, for we shall see him as he is. A little excited. This is in every man that have this hope, right? This is the hope in which the Father, again, faith is a gift unto the elect. In him purifieth himself even as he is pure. So we are making ourselves and walking the walk of power by outside the chief cornerstone. All right. Um, so it says, let's read that again. It says, when Hamashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. So that's where, I think that John, linking up that with that John, we know that we'll have immortal, we'll be immortal, we'll live forever. Mortify therefore your members, all right, which are upon the earth, fornication. So we have to, deaden ourselves to, these things, committing sin, fornication, uncleanliness, inordinate affection, evil, concupiscence, covetousness, which is idolatry, for which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience. So these things are going to come upon the earth, and we want to flee those things as if it were a serpent. It says, in the which ye also walked sometimes when ye lived in them. Because we came out of that. Again, we were out of that darkness. The Lord brought us out of darkness into this marvelous light. But now ye all also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communications out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds. So we are a change, right? And we are working daily, to shed the old man and come and become a new creature in the sight of Yahweh, God. This is a daily work until he returns. We're never going to get it 100%, but once he returns, we will have it 100%. Because he's going to put that in our spirit. But we're going to continue to rehearse these righteous acts and pray that Yahweh God his mercy. It says, and I'll end here. It says, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge, after the image of him that created him. So we're after the image. When you read Colossians 1, we know that Yahweh God created all things, and through him, all things were made for him and by him. And that was, of course, started by Yahweh, who created Yahweh God and gave him all that glory. So I hope that this lesson was edifying, uplifting, absorbing of some sort to the like body of true believers. Before I end, I like to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh, Bahashem, Rahahakashai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, peace and salutation to the hopeful elect scattered throughout the four corners of the globe. To all those listening and learning to you, to say, Shalom.